So, about the recent explosion of Chinese manufacturing and AI. The Chinese industrial complex is not a new occurrence, and, in reality, it has been slowly progressing over decades of maintained strategic investments. What is surprising, however, is the United States' lack of initiative in keeping their global position. What happens when all of the world's manufacturing is forced onto a developing nation whose sole goal is to re-establish themselves as a cultural and industrial epicenter? Well, they become pretty good at it. Following the leadership of Mao Zedong, China has seen a massive surge in growth. Despite the large death tolls and putting aside any questions of morality, China has done something that has never been seen before. But Rome wasn't built in a day. It was Deng Xiaoping's market-oriented reforms in the 1980s that truly propelled China into the global economy. Policies like the establishment of special economic zones and socialism with Chinese characteristics allowed China to attract foreign investment and grow its manufacturing base, a metamorphosis from a frail agrarian state without any exports to a global superpower. In contrast, the United States has fallen back on their laurels recently and become wrought with overspending, mishandling of the national budget, and a general gross negligence of a deficit. Believing that other countries would continue to respect the dollar as the most secure currency and forget about their growing inflation and ballooning debt, US politicians have allowed an oligarchy to take control of the economy, which has in turn stifled innovation and reduced competition, leading to a frothy market and the current economic trends that we see, thanks to sports gambling, betting on the stock market, and a lack of government funding for research and development. Following all of that up with the United States' decision to freeze Russia's dollars, in my opinion, a necessary sacrifice, other countries have begun questioning the sanctity of the dollar. If at any point the US can just decide to freeze their assets, why not choose to diversify a little? See all of the recent gold purchasing. Countries like Brazil, Russia, and India are already experimenting with alternatives to the dollar for trade settlements. The rise in UN-denominated oil transactions between China and Gulf states is just one example of how the dollar's dominance is being slowly chipped away, a sign of an economy potentially on track for recession. But what exactly does all of this US drama have to do with China? Well, while the United States politicians and billionaire CEOs continue to enrich themselves, they forgot about the need to continue developing US exports and maintaining their global dominance. Instead of competition, they decided to impose tariffs to allow American companies to keep prices on lackluster products high and not be forced to make cheaper and better tech. Enter the Chinese EV market. China's government-backed subsidies for EV manufacturers, coupled with robust charging infrastructure, have allowed domestic brands like BYD to dominate the global market. For all intents and purposes, Chinese vehicles have the same quality as American manufactured vehicles, but they cost significantly less. As opposed to allowing native competition to decrease US prices organically, EV startups are continuously disrupted so that larger companies like Tesla can maintain their market share and become a bubbling mess. And note, this is not just limited to the EV field. But if Chinese vehicles are cheaper, how does Tesla compete? Enter the tariff, a certain politician's favorite buzzword. There's nothing wrong with protecting US manufacturing and shielding our homegrown companies from foreign ones, but there must be a line that is eventually drawn, or else you're just playing favorites. Competition is the central tenet of our so-called laissez-faire. Continuing on the trend of Chinese tech innovation, we've seen the absolute explosion of the Chinese AI platform, DeepSeek, which boasts incredible specs. Using significantly less data, fewer chips, and less development time, DeepSeek claims similar performance to ChatGPT with additional benefits, like how you can see the AI's thought process, and most importantly, how it is free. This, of course, is not necessarily surprising, as it was the decision of the United States to bar the sale of chips and assets to the Chinese which prevented them from developing their own AI. But wait, what I just said would have prevented them from making exactly DeepSeek, no? Well, not exactly. Many researchers and scientists suggested that this hindrance could directly lead to innovation almost out of spite, and well, look where we are now. And that's why Nvidia's market cap just fell by $600 billion in a day, and the rest of the market, largely propped up by an AI outlook, soon followed. Our local chip manufacturer might not be as valuable as we once thought if AI is all of a sudden more efficient and free to use. So what does all of this mean? This is all speculation, but as the dollar weakens and US exports shrink in value, the $36 trillion debt that is owed starts becoming a little scarier, creating a need for federal cutbacks and increasing prices on everyday goods and imports, all while the government feigns ignorance and continues to serve only the top fraction of a percentile of people. Much of this burden will likely fall on the remainder of the people of the United States. And with current policies promoting the defunding of research and innovation, look at the NIH or all the other grant funding which has been frozen, tech and US-born ideas are not poised to make a strong leap ahead, suggesting a bleak outlook for the dollar. But with a race that we may already be losing, what's one more roadblock anyways? If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'm on my way to 500 subscribers and all of your support helps. Here's another video that you might enjoy, and thanks for watching.